What's up guys, Eli here, back for another video. I'm listening to the classic Joined in Darkness by Demoncy in the background if you can hear it. One of the most classic black metal albums to come from the US, one of the best bands to come from the US, black metal wise, or other. Anyways, got 10 more CDs out of my collection, and I'm just going to throw this out there as kind of a spoiler. There's a lot of Cradle of Filth in here, so if you're not a fan, you might just want to, if it's something that completely offends you, you might not want to watch it all or skip ahead or just don't want to waste your time. Majority of this stack of 10 CDs is Cradle of Filth. So, having said that, I'll proceed. You've been warned. Oh, damn it. Stack here. Alright, we're going to start off with their second to last album from a couple years back, 2015. Hammer of the Witches. This was a pretty good album, kind of a comeback of sorts as far as kind of a, well, not so much a comeback, but kind of a return to form, I would say. Some pretty cool artwork in here as always. Kind of weird. I always described it as kind of like kind of Elizabethan meets like Lovecraft or something. Always cool. So anyway, this is a pretty good album. I thought, I think this was, to be honest, I have kind of a hard time choosing between that one and the newest one, Cryptoriana, which I've shown this once or twice already. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to rub the Cradle of Filth in your face. This one right here is pretty cool. This is one that even some non-fans might kind of dig. This is Total Fucking Darkness from Mordgrim Records out of, I can't remember, somewhere in Europe. This is a compilation of the earlier demo stuff. If you thought they looked retarded now, man, they looked retarded then too, so check that out. But anyway, you know, I'm not a hater. I've always liked them, so it is what it is. So yeah, this is like just tracks off their first, I think, like 2 demos or something like that. Which I've heard even a lot of people that don't like Cradle much think those demos are pretty decent, so there's that. It's more death metal than anything. It's more death metal than their later stuff. Kind of, there's still some, you know, black metal influences, I think. More Black Death, I'd say. I wouldn't call it straight death metal, which I have heard some people say. I wouldn't really agree with that, though. Next, we have another album I quite like. One of their sort of earlier albums, earlier to mid-era. Cruelty and the Beast. This is a double disc version. I don't remember what the second disc has. Anyways, whatever. Covers, maybe? Oh yeah, it's got some like Sodom covers, Iron Maiden covers, and some remixes of some of their songs. So. Oops, fuck. Well, there goes that. Now we have one of their sort of newer era albums, Nymphetamine. I thought this one was actually pretty decent. It's got some alright songs on there. Yeah. And I got a couple more, guys, if you're hanging in there. Hope this isn't nails on a chalkboard for you. We have one of their more recent albums, somewhat, the Manticore. To be specific, the Manticore and Other Horrors. Didn't care too much for this one. I gave it quite a few listens, and it just it failed to really grab me. It didn't really do much for me. Not a terrible album, but not I don't know, nothing too exciting. One more. This is the final Cradle of Filth album, I promise. I wouldn't lie to you about that. One of their sort of newer albums as well. Godspeed on the Devil's Thunder. Thought this one was a little bit better than the Manticore. They're kind of shifting back in the right direction just a little bit. It's been a while since I've heard it. I've maybe only heard it once or twice, so I'll probably revisit it, but I remember thinking it was better than some of their, you know, some of the shit that came before it. It's decent. Next, we have Craft. Fuck the Universe. Show it label put this out? I wanted to say, yeah, Southern Lord. Southern Lord. Kraft is a killer black metal band from Sweden, as you hopefully know. Really good stuff. Their earlier albums, two albums I think that came out before this, pretty raw Swedish black metal, very good stuff. This one is a little different. This is more in the direction they've taken since this album. It's more of a, I mean, it's still very, very, very dark, just really, really fucking good, and still pretty raw black metal, but more of a rocking direction. Not so much like later Satyricon or anything like that, but just more headbangable, catchy riffs and stuff like that. But still, still very grim black metal that you would want from this band. Stellar album, I'd say. That's I think my favorite Kraft album, and that's saying a lot. I haven't got the newest album from these guys right here, and I need to, because man, killer band from the UK, Craven Idol. Check out that Paulo Girardi artwork. I know my camera's not really doing it justice, but Towards Eschaton, it's called, from Dark Descent Records. They put out an album, put out a new album this year, which you can also get from Dark Descent, and I highly, highly recommend it. I haven't heard the new one. I still recommend it because I do believe it'll be that good. But if it's even nearly as good as this one, you'll want it. Just killer black thrash. Maybe with some death metal thrown in there. Very good stuff. If you're a fan of like, shit, what was the band? Oh shit. What's the Swedish band with the twins? Two twin brothers, old black thrash from Sweden. You all know what I mean. God damn it, it's escaping me for now. Classic band though. Anyways, I always kind of drew a comparison with Craven Idol. I always felt they were kind of carrying the torch of that type of shit. And they're doing it damn well. Next, here's a band that I've shown once before, so I'll show again, just because that's how it works. Cretin, with their debut album Freakery, Relapse Records. Cretin is a, I hate using the term supergroup, but it is kind of a supergroup. They're current and ex-members, actually by this point I think all ex-members of like Exhumed, and I mean, don't quote me on a lot of the stuff that I say, but Exhumed, maybe some Impaled, something like that. But anyways, good band. They started this band solely to basically play like Repulsion worship. Repulsion, maybe some early Napalm Death, stuff like that, and they do it really fucking well. I like this album a lot, and they put out another album a couple years back that I thought was even better. Instead of just being a straight Repulsion worship band, they kind of actually really put their own spin on things and put out kind of a unique album, and it was killer. But yeah, man, if you like that early grinding death metal, man, I can't see why you wouldn't dig Cretin, because I sure do. So anyway, that's 10 albums. Sorry about all the Cradle of Filth. I tried to whip through them as fast as I could, as you can see.